Hi, everyone. I'm Suzanne O'Brien, and welcome to another interview for the Death Doula World Training Day on April 20th. Today, we have an incredible co-host that we want to share and again, ask some questions and I want you to know about them because they're simply wonderful and doing great work in the world. This is the Death Doula Network of BC, Canada. And I've been following them on their social media and seeing their posts. And again, I'm so impressed and appreciative of the outreach, the education, and the community that they are creating in their side of the world. But of course, we're a global family. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to these two women. And we're going to ask them to please introduce themselves and then share a little bit about how you came to this space of working in end of life, if you would be so kind. Whoever would like to start.
Kick it off, Karen.
Okay, so I'm Karen Hendrickson, and I am co-founder of the Death Doula Network of BC. I've been a coach in life, death, and all the messy in between for quite some time, and I stepped into the Death Doula specific realm in 2018. And so it was a great augmentation to my coaching practice because death is a component of life, and when we get comfortable with our death, we change how we live. And so I felt the alignment there was so powerful that it just made sense for me to step into it in that realm.
That's beautiful, Karen. Thank you so much. I often say that death is our greatest teacher about life, and yet right now we have completely removed death from our awareness, which it's time to bring it back into that fold because it can teach us so much. So I love that. And exactly. Joanne, how did you get into this field?
Well, I'm also co-founder of the Death Doula Network of BC with my friend Karen here. My background training, I'm an insurance adjuster, so I deal with people that have suffered a loss of property, their houses or their business is burnt down. So in one sense, it is grief work. Mm-hmm. And then in 2018, I took the doula training because I had experienced a bad death with my mom. She suffered for 10 days in the last part of her life, and it was awful. And that was back in 2014, and I didn't know of what was available out there for help. And I stumbled upon this training and felt that this was definitely a passion of mine, and that the skills that I had in my prior life, my work life, transferred over quite easily to death doula, because it's all the same, right? Loss,
That's beautiful. And again, I'm sorry to hear about the journey with your mom and the suffering, but sometimes it's those experiences that are the catalyst for change. And it's an honor. I always say it's an honor of the people that showed us that we need to do more. We need to get out there. And also I hope that it helps to heal the wounds as you go forward with the work to help others in that space. So what's interesting is that all pathways, no matter who you are in the world, no matter who you are, lead to this road, right? Because we're going to have an end of life. We're all human, and we all go through multiple things. So it doesn't matter if you are, a big celebrity, or if you have 1 million degrees, or you have a very beautiful, simple existence. We all go this way. And I think it's so important to bring that common thread back into awareness, that we're so much more similar than different. And I think we got a little too caught up in this group and that group and this, and really at the core, we're all the same in this thing called humanity. And there's so much that we can learn from this space. So I love that. Now, could you tell us a little bit more about the Death Doula Network that you've made? Because I love the messaging on your website, community, positivity. I love all that. Like, that all resonates. And you're, for practicing doulas and for people who want to be in the space or learn more, or anyone who just wants to step into, this section and learn more about this thing called end of life. I just think it's beautiful. So could you just share a little bit more about your network?
Okay. So we created the network because when we started into this work in 2018, we felt very quickly ourselves, and we were hearing it from other individuals who were maybe taking training and then trying to figure out how to bring this to the world and make impact with it, struggling, right? So you go through the training and then you're by yourself.
Yes.
right? So in some cases, it's about starting business, individuals not knowing how to begin business, how to market themselves, how to start communicating, or how to even step into the work. And so we were feeling it ourselves in 2018, and just it was a voice that kept getting louder and louder as more people in our region, right, were learning about it and making decisions that this was a calling that they wanted to follow and wanted to be of service in. And so last year, actually, it's 1 year tomorrow, we started in the online realm of Zoom, creating death conversations, right? So Seriously Let's Talk is a banner that we ran under, and we started holding conversations around death and dying and getting comfortable with the uncomfortable. And that following grew so quickly, and the voice on we want community, we want support, we want to learn more just got louder. And so in July of last year, we said, okay, now's the time. It's up to us, right? We're hearing this, we have the forum, right? It's up to us to bring it to the world. So our intention is to be that container to help people connect, not just within the province of BC and Canada, but across Canada and the world. We've got a following now that is global, which is amazing for us because, like you said before, everybody is in this together, and everybody at some point will be facing it either for themselves or for their people, whatever that looks like. So how can we support comfort around that? How can we create community so people don't feel by themselves in trying to do this work? And how can we also bring different perspectives on learning and education that can help augment how people can choose to do the work, both for themselves and but if they're of service to others and within their own family or people.
Yes, beautiful.
And so,
simply beautiful. For me, the education of community in this area, whatever we can do to create a safe space that people can come in and ask questions about end of life. What does it mean? And what can I do to, again, it can go very well. And for something that is 100% guaranteed, we want to give all the resources that people can have that shot to have it go well, because it can go well. And one of those things is learning the skills, the basic skills of what it's like to care for somebody at end of life. And again, that's what World Training Day is about. It's giving that for free to whoever would like to take it from around the world, because it does so much positive work. So that brings me to the next question is, why did you want to be a co-collaborating host on Death Doula World Training Day?
Oh, because we both admire the work that you do at Doulagivers, Suzanne, and it's such an important message. And the training that you do, especially in World Training Day with the end stages, isn't something that I personally have seen in a lot of other trainings. And I think it's really important that we understand those stages, because the more you understand, the more comfortable you can be with it.
Thank you, Joanne. I agree with you. One of the things that I tell my families a lot of the time is that what they're seeing is a natural part of the end of life and not to be afraid. And that's a natural thing that's happening. And of course, if you don't have that experience, you wouldn't know that. So I love that so much. And I thank you for doing that. And how do you think, from the work that you do, and I know you have a good perspective here, how do you think if we are able to share this training with families, communities around the world, how do you think that can shift the current culture of end of life, the way that we're doing it now? If we really got people that wanted to take this training, to understand the beauty, the inside look, holistic model, you feel that would have a big impact on the way that we're actually doing end of life right now globally?
First off, right, as soon as you provide a doorway into understanding and knowledge, you reduce fear, right? And so when we're less afraid, we're more inclined to embrace and also feel empowered, like we have control over many facets, right? So death in and of itself, right, is something that happens to all of us that we don't necessarily have control over, but the process of it, we can have a lot of control over many elements of it, right? So, and I think education reduces fear and allows people to be more present in the moment and to live more fully together in the journey, which I think is critically important. It creates opportunity to be able to better honor your person, as they're taking that journey, and their wishes and their needs, but it really opens the doorway for you to feel like you have some control, you can contribute, and you can really focus on what matters most together in those last days, months, whatever it is.
I love that. Thank you so much, Karen, for that. I think for me, because I've worked in this space for a long time as a hospice nurse and oncology nurse, and the wisdom, the pearls of wisdom that are shared by those at the end of life, everything that I learned working in this space taught me about how to live. So, because again, just what you're saying is that, you look at your day in a different lens, with a different lens of gratitude and of presence. And also, I feel like, again, there's foundational laws and things that we have removed from society, like compassion, like presence, like that we're all connected in this thing. And so you learn that working in that space, but also if we could share that and bring that back into the fold of our world now, how really incredible would that be? And is that, because it's going to happen and it is happening. I think that COVID is difficult, and obviously it's just, so intense what we've all been through, but there are silver linings of lessons there. And one of them is that death will be a part of our journey at some point, and that if you are prepared, doing your advanced directives and thinking about it, it goes so much better. But also, what are the real important things in our life?
Exactly.
And a clearer understanding of what's going to happen too. Because what we've been hearing is it's not so much death that people fear, it's the process of it.
Yeah.
And so the more that can be explained, as you said, and it's a natural part and here's what you need to expect, I think the more people are going to get comfortable and start talking a little bit more about it as well.
I love that, Joanne. And I feel like, again, when you show them this, so there's steps and stages that end of life. And again, I think that one of the things that's so beautiful is that we all shut down pretty much the same way, no matter even what the disease process is in the very end, that looks the same, no matter where we are in the world or who we look. And that's a great thing. But there's also interventions that we can suggest for comfort. So, if somebody is, and I know that there's so many beautiful things to this, but let's just say one of the things that I think really is very healing for people is the awareness that people may wait for you to step away from the bedside for them to actually have their end of life. And most times that this happens, the family comes back and they could go for 5 minutes and they've been like at the bedside for days, 24/7, 5 minutes, they go to get a cup of coffee. That person chooses to have their end of life then. Now, when they come back, they're riddled with guilt. I can't believe I missed it. How did this happen? And I've seen this so many times that this is orchestrated. So they tell me that the person doesn't want that to be the last moment that you remember because it's too hard. So they actually wait. But there's a bigger picture here. People have been in a sleep state, not talking, with their eyes closed for days. So I always say, how did they know the 5 minutes that you left the room? There's incredible information here. And I'm not ever saying what someone needs to believe, but when we share this, for instance, we just had it's emotional. We just had a graduate class, and this woman was going through the training, and she was taking care of an 83-year-old man, and she was sharing with him every week what she would learn. And this one week she shares what I just shared with you about how people may wait if they're hanging on for you to leave the room. And all of a sudden she turns around and he's crying. And she said, "Why are you crying?" And he said, "You just gave me the greatest gift. I've been holding on to this for 35 years about my mother not being there when she died. And that was how it was meant." This is so important to share. So that's just one example of how this training can empower, bring healing, but bring us together in this humanity. And I think there's nothing that's better than that.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. I mean, we all know when there's death, there's grief, right, and loss, but the knowledge and the awareness and the ability to bring us together can make that just a little bit easier.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit easier.
Yeah, and bearing witness. So we're not here to fix it. So I think that's so important when you're a doula, is to understand that you're not here to fix it. You're here to support someone in their journey. And bearing witness, true presence and compassion is the best medicine we can give one another, and in life and in the end of life.
I was just going to say, right, that's the best gift we can give each other at any time.
Let's do it. Let's do
exactly.
it. Right? I love that. Okay, so can you please tell our listeners how they can get in touch with you, find out more about your organization and what you're doing?
Okay. Well, our website is ddmbc.com, and it's got all of our workshops, and anything that we offer is on the website.
Great.
I'll let Karen talk to that a little bit more. She does our commercial.
Oh, on the website. Well, you'll find everything on the website, right? So we consistently are running workshop programming. Some of it is free to community. Some of it is free to our membership. And there are, of course, paid events as well, too. But ongoing education and connection is what we're committed to. And so you'll always find lots of goings on our website. One big one right now, if we're okay to talk about it, is we're hosting an end of life summit on the 17th of April, which is an all-day 6-hour event where we're showcasing 6 of our membership, bringing their gifts and their knowledge to the world. So, but you can find everything out at ddmbc.com or on our Facebook page at Death Doula BC of BC, and also our Insta. So.
Okay, and I'll put your links below on this interview as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing so much. I can't wait to pop in and to join some of your events. So thank you again. I mean, again, I'm inspired. I watch what you're doing, and you're supporting people in the most loving way with such great education. So to both of you, I want to thank you for being part of, again, the Death Doula World Training Day, and for all the great work you're doing.
We want to thank you for the opportunity for allowing us to do this, Suzanne.
It's my pleasure, everybody. Okay, well, we'll see you on April 20th.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. It's Suzanne O'Brien. We'll see you at Death Doula World Training Day, April 20th. All right, everyone. Thanks so much.